Welcome to For the Record, a Wayne County Chamber of Commerce podcast, where real conversations meet real impact. We dive into the stories, insights, and experiences that shape our world, bringing you expert voices, thought-provoking discussions, and a fresh perspective on the topics that matter most. For the Record is proudly sponsored by Atlantic Casualty Insurance Company, TA Loving Company, Goldsboro Builders Supply, PDM Professional Data Management, UNC Physicians Network, and Butterball. We're grateful for their support in making these conversations possible. And for the record, we're glad you're here.
Hey, for the record, I'm Todd Walker, the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce president, and I'm here with Southco's very fine Kevin Best. Kevin, it's great to have you here, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure.
Yeah.
It has been over the last 3 months. I've had a chance to get to know you, sit down with you, tour the facility. But right off the bat, I just want to thank Southco and all the great men and women who really have gone above and beyond in providing support for Goldsboro. Recently held our Mountain to Coast bike ride.
Yes.
And you all provided all the snacks for the bike riders in the morning, along with Franklin Baking, which I can't thank you enough. And then most recently, I just want to thank you again for the support that you gave our base in providing toys and financial help, as that goes a long way towards making this an amazing Christmas for our men and women in the military. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. We're glad to be able to do that. Our employees are good on generous giving to the community.
Whole Southco staff, you, Sherwin, the owner, John Garver. I'll tell you what, when I go onto your website and look at it, philanthropy and giving back to the community, that seems to be really what makes Southco so special. And we'll get to a little bit more of that later, but we want to talk and make sure all the folks out there knows why Kevin Best is so special. And Kevin, we talked about it before. This podcast is set up so we can talk to the finest leaders in the community, and I can't think of another one finer. And so thanks.
You're too kind. You're too kind.
It's true. It's true. And when we look at that, it all has a beginning. And just like any of the For the Records, kind of like to start at the beginning with how did this all come? So where you're at right now to where you were when you were like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, what made you who you are today?
Well, I would probably have to give all the credit to my parents and my grandparents. I was raised in a Christian home. They made me go to church.
Yeah, okay,
you know, you were made to go to church back
Right.
in the day, and I'm glad they did. You know, because it brought a new perspective to life. You see things a lot different at times.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Especially when it's so was it your dad's grandma and grandma?
It was actually my mother's parents. We lived side by side with them.
Yeah.
And so mom and dad worked. So guess who I was raised by?
Oh, for sure.
You know,
for the
so
grandparents.
not only having mom and dad, but I had my granny and pa that lived next door to me. So
Man, was that here in Wayne County?
yes. Yeah, I'm actually born and raised in a little community called Fayroe.
Okay.
And that is just east of Eureka, which is where the B-52 bomber fell out of the sky and
I
crashed.
know the stories. Yeah,
Yeah,
back in the
yeah.
60s, right?
1961, I
Yeah,
believe.
61.
Yeah.
That was one of the very first stories when I got signed to Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in 23. People were talking about that bomber going down over in that area. And so is it true what they say? I mean, they got everything out of it, though.
They got the detonation, the atom, I guess, what you would say.
Right.
They got that part out, but the rest of it failed. They think it was in quicksand or something, from what the old timers used to say. It just fell out.
Oh my goodness. So that's where you grew up. So for your whole life, you're born and bred here in Wayne County. And it is one of those great things that I know my wife and I really enjoy, is that meeting so many of the legends here, they've been raised here. We've got some friends that were telling us the other day that a house that they live on, that their family had in the 1800s.
Yeah, Fayroe was like a farming community.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. You know, this farmer helped that farmer, you know, and it just passed on. And that's what I was raised on. I was raised on farm. And so you got up in the morning, you worked, you went to bed, you did it again the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, even at an early age of 7, 8 years old, I was walking between 2 rows of tobacco picking up leaves.
Goodness,
My grandparents, they tended a small farm. I think maybe 60 acres total, but they made a living off of it, and they raised three kids of their own, and one of them being my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did you have any brothers or sisters?
I do have a sister. Her name is Crystal.
Yeah.
And she lives down in Topsom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice little area. I wouldn't mind going down there and living down
She
that
loves it
area, too.
down there. She's actually a school teacher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you grew up. So now when you're growing up, and it grew up through here, did you have any aspirations? Like when you were a kid, like I wanted to be, a basketball player, but that didn't work out at all. But was there any dreams or aspirations you had?
Not really. I always had an act for selling or maybe buying. My dad tells the story when I was about 4 or 5 years old. He took me to Sears one day and told me to stay in the truck. Well, I didn't stay in the truck. He went inside, and I went to the garden center where the swing sets were. Yeah. And he got paged to come because his kid was in the garden center. And the salesman walked out there, or told Daddy when Daddy walked out there, he says, I don't know if I'm selling this kid a swing set or I'm buying one. So, I guess I grew up with an act of selling things. That's what my dad did. He run a parts store for years, and I guess just watching him, I just grew into it.
Well, and you kind of went that route too, right?
Yes.
I mean, so as you were going up through high school, did you end up going to college?
I did some time at Wayne. I took some classes, but I never finished. I went to work for Pepsi Company here in Goldsboro, worked for them for about 5 years, and then I transferred to Minji's Bottling Company in Kinston, and they were Pepsi as well, and I worked for them for about 4 or 5 more years. And I became their grocery store manager for a year or so, and then I did marketing a little bit for them.
Wow,
yeah.
So, and then that's taken you all the way up to the current position you have here at Southco.
And actually, no. I met my wife in 1989, and we actually met on the famous William Street.
Oh, so
yeah. So this was the
cruising area?
The cruising area for the kids back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she was 2 years behind me, so she was still in high school.
Okay.
And I was in college, and I was working with Pepsi. So I did that. We finally ended up getting married, and we've been together for 36 years, been married 30 years.
Wow.
So we dated for 6 years before we got married.
No, that's great.
Yeah. And so when I left Pepsi in the Minji's company in Kinston, I went to work for her mom and dad.
Did we ever talk? Did you own a store too?
No.
Okay.
No.
I couldn't remember. You've kind of caught me off guard with the William Street thing because it cracks me up. Because Jennifer Johnson, I don't know if you know Jennifer Johnson and Kevin Johnson, great folks. And Jennifer was telling me the other day that the same thing. William Street was where, like, I can't. It's hard for me to imagine.
Yeah.
But so now, did you meet your wife on William Street?
Well, actually, I did, because she had a IROC Z28.
Oh, that's a sweet ride.
And it was white.
Yeah.
Mine was identical. It was white. She had a convertible. Mine was T-tops.
Oh, sweet.
So, that's how we met.
Holy cow. All right. If you're going to take a car gauge, that's a good one. Man, the IROC Z, that's like the hot rod. So as an 80s guy, especially a Night Rider guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could have had a Mustang, like a Trans Am, an IROC Z, wow. It was love at first sight.
Yeah. It took a little bit. I chased her a little while, and she didn't pay me no mind, and then I quit paying her any mind, and she started chasing me. So.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that bad boy thing works out great.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, with that said, it is funny when we think about back in the day. So as you're growing up, and your mom and dad really just poured into you, your grandma and grandpa poured into you. What do you think, like right now as you sit here? Because I think about my parents often and try to reflect. What is one nugget that they gave you that you still take with you today that you're like, wow?
I would probably say, if you got your mind on it and it's something that you want to do, there's nothing that you can't accomplish.
Right.
You just got to have a mindset of doing it to the fullest and always finishing what you start.
Yeah, I think that's another good one. We've had a few today that different folks we've talked to when it talks about leadership, but finish what you start. Right.
Yeah.
One other person, Lisa Govan. I don't know if you know Lisa. Lisa's with Curtis Media, but I love what she had said, and it was really, golly, Gage, what was it? She said, "Don't conform to someone else."
Possibly, there's a lot of good things.
Yeah, today was a good day. We love. This is a great day for us. But it was, you've got to be able to make sure that you finish what you start. I love that one. Now, with that said, when we talk finish what you start, so you meet your wife, It's 6 years, you get married. What has been, I think when we talk foundation of what makes a great leader, what has she meant to you through these last 30 years? I know as leaders go, and I know what you're going to say, but I love seeing a great husband and wife team that have been together for so long as you, and to let folks understand that it does take work. But I guarantee you, she is your best support cast, isn't she?
Look, she's my best friend. She's my wife. She's my go-to person. And, it don't matter what either one of us do, we both give 100% to each other.
I love that.
I support her. She supports me. She's independent. And then, she's not independent, if you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
She works hard for herself. She's made a name for herself as well. She's just worked hard all of her life to get where she's at as well. And I look up to her a lot, in my day-to-day living.
Well, and I love hearing that because then I can see that, when I've talked with you, especially it's been a joy to talk about your faith, talk about your family, and to talk about the means of that to give you foundation. But with that said, as you get in your position out at Southco, can you let us know a little bit more about what you're doing at Southco and a little bit more about what's going on with Southco?
Well, I've been there 13 years, and I was kind of in between some jobs with her parents because they were getting where they were going to retire,
right,
and they were going to sell the business. And so, I went to Chris Wise out at Southco, and I've had my CDLs since 1991. Yeah, since 91. So I went to Southco to get a job as driving a truck.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the sales managers overheard my interview with Chris Wise, and he said he wanted to interview me again the next day. He had a salesperson job available. So I went in again the next day and hired right on the spot, to work in sales. And so I did that for about 3 or 4 years. And the supervisor on that side retired, and I got promoted into that job.
Mm-hmm.
Did that for a couple of years. And one morning I get a phone call from Sherwin, and he says, "I need you to come see me today." Well, you don't just get a phone call from the man that owns the company, to come in.
Right.
Something's not right. You're thinking, what have I done, or what has happened?
Sure.
Who said what? So anyway, that day I went in, and he said, "You need to shut the door."
Oh boy.
I said, "Oh no," what is going through my mind, So I shut the door. I went over there and sat down. He folds his arms up in his chest, and he kind of smirks a little bit. He smiles, and I said, "What is going on?" He says, "I want you to run my transportation department." He said, "I want you to be my transportation director." And I looked at him and I said, "Look, I've had my CDLs since 91. I said, I don't know one thing about running a transportation department.
Mm-hmm.
Especially a company with the amount of trucks that we have on the road." He said, "I ain't worried about you." He said, "I believe you can learn it." He said, "I'm not scared of, you being in this position." And, I said, "Well, Sherwin, I don't know one thing about laws and regulations and what you're supposed to have. He said, whatever Southco can help you do, don't worry about it. We got you back.
Right.
And so that meant a lot. And so I did that, got it back on the narrow, and then all of a sudden COVID hit.
Oh,
Here we
that
go.
was a challenge.
Yeah, drivers quitting, employees
sure.
quitting, just like everywhere else. And, but anyway, we made it work. We worked through it, and it was long, hard hours and a lot of work. And
you put the CD out to work too, didn't you?
yes, I did. Not only being the transportation manager, I was driving trucks. I was making deliveries, just like other management staff that we had at the time. I mean, we had everybody in the world out there on the truck making deliveries. And so, because we were essential business.
Right.
And then our general manager, he announced that he wanted to retire in another year or so. So I get that phone call again.
Oh, no.
And I'm thinking, what's happening now,
You can't hold a job.
I know, right?
Gosh,
I can't.
2-3 years, yeah.
And so we went through this whole spiel again.
Yeah.
And so here I am after, spending a year with the GM trying to learn what he was doing and how to, take care of the business that I need to take care of and make the operations work every day at Southco.
It's amazing, because you talk about from where you began to right here. And one of the things that I'm just hearing right here is you just made the best of every opportunity.
I tried. I mean, a lot of praying, and I feel like it's the Lord's will.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always leading. He's always opening the door. A lot of times he shut the door, but there's other opportunities and other doors that he's opened.
Oh, absolutely. Would you say, when we talk about keys to success, because when we look at this, I mean, this is, you're taking opportunities, things that you hadn't done before, but then your leader, the owner, Sherwin, is seeing that in you. He has complete trust and confidence in you. With that said, what do you think has led to that keys to your success? And is there anything that points right out? And I know you're a humble guy, but is there something that, whether it was an action, whether it was an individual, was it mentors? What do you think has really helped get you to exactly where you're at now?
Well, I've never looked at myself as being one.
Right.
Whatever happens with a business internal is teamwork. And teamwork makes a business successful.
Mm-hmm.
You have great leaders like Sherwin, but it takes a whole lot of people to make a business successful. And I think by working as a team, and not being worried about what I did or where I did it, as long as the job got done. And I look at it as a teamwork making that accomplishment.
Man, there is no other way to say it, right? Having been in the service for a number of years, it's never been about one individual person, but it has been about the ability to create a culture and environment that is conducive to greatness. I can say this when I go into Southco, from the time that you gave me a tour, I can see the relationships you have with the individuals that work there. It is a family, no doubt about it. And it's got to be one of the cleanest places I've ever been.
Well, I appreciate that. They work hard on trying to keep everything clean. I mean, you saw it. There's so much cardboard and paper and stuff, but they do a really great job keeping the place clean, and doing their other job duties that they have. And it is a family business. And every one of, Sherwin's kids work there, and their husbands and wives work there, and it has always been treated as family, and it's just been a great place to work.
Yeah, I love it. And I think, more folks need to know about it. When I think of Southco and essentially, I mean, you're distributing equipment, food items, it's essential items to how many locations now?
Oh man, it's probably over 1,300 locations, I would think, something like that.
That's amazing.
We've been fortunate enough, the good Lord's looked after, Southco, that we've been able to purchase 2 businesses in the last 4 years, I guess, 5 years.
One
something
recent,
like that.
right? I think you and I had talked about one where
Yes,
you guys were swamped. Yeah.
Yeah. We were able to purchase a business down in Augusta, Georgia, and we were able to keep that warehouse open and keep the employees there.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and then we've just made the purchase this past spring, of Atlantic Dominion out of Chesapeake Bay, Virginia. So it's been a blessing.
Man, like you said, the Lord is good, and but you guys give back so much. You constantly are giving back. Is that one of the things that when you are having challenges, that really makes all this worthwhile? Is your ability, and you just have a desire to serve others? Because I know you're going to face challenges. You have faced challenges, and so I'd be really curious to know how do you handle those challenges? What's the first thing you do?
Well, my parents always, instilled in me, pray first.
Yeah.
He may not give you an answer right away,
Right.
but, pray and have faith, and the answer will come. It may not be right,
Mm-hmm.
to start with, but it'll get fixed on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as a challenge, I'm not scared of trying anything. Just like today,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is my first one. So
Yeah.
but I give all the glory to God. Yeah.
No, he definitely deserves it, and we're certainly stoked to be able to have you here in this community doing this. Because when we think about leadership, we think about one that you just said it right. You never quit. You never quit. You got to continue to go on. I got to ask you this: what do you think is next? As you continue to go up, is there something? Is there a hobby that you've got? Something that really gets you excited about the future?
Man, I just live day by day and live it to the fullest. As far as hobby, I love golf.
Yeah.
And if the weather's nice and the sun's, out, I'm gonna play. Used to, if it didn't matter if it was raining, it didn't matter if it was snowing.
Mm-hmm.
If there was an opportunity, I was gonna play. But the older you get, the more wiser you get, I guess.
Yeah, it was 20 this morning. I don't know if I could have done that.
I know I wouldn't have.
Yeah, no, that's too cold. Yeah, that's. I asked that question because I also find it fascinating to see how great leaders juggle difficult times. You're going through COVID. You've gone through a number of different things. You've had to work 7 days a week. You've put in the 15, 20 hours a day type things for the company and maintained a wonderful relationship with your wife for over 30 years. What's been that balance? How have you been able to maintain the work and family balance?
Well, I guess you got to give as much as you want to take.
Mm-hmm.
But where I grew up at, we had a volunteer fire service, so I've been a member of that as well. And so Suzanne, she sees the community as being a small rural family-owned type community, and everybody takes care of everybody. And so, the challenge between her and I, there is none, because, whatever she wants to do, I'm ready, willing, and go.
Mm-hmm.
And she lets me have my free time. So, it's a give take type situation.
Oh, for sure. But congratulations on that 30 years. That's a milestone. If I get to 30 years with my wife now, Janelle, because we've only been married 6 years, and we'll get to 30, God willing, but that puts me at 82. So I think we're going to get there.
Yeah, you will.
I think so. It's just, I love seeing folks. One, Kevin, that you've been able to balance all these things. I'm glad that you had a great mom and dad and grandma and grandpa to raise you the way you did. I'm super glad that we've gotten an opportunity to have you also on our board of directors in the chamber, because it gives us an opportunity here in the chamber to be able to help support you for all that you and Sherwin have done throughout and John, and we certainly appreciate that. With that said, as we continue, we're gonna shut down the interview, the formal parts, getting close to being done. I've got to ask, and it's one of my favorite questions I always ask, though, is, and in the last few times I've asked it, I think they've thought a little bit about it, and it's hard to say, but what would you tell a 7 to 10-year-old Kevin Best, knowing what you know now? Some of the folks have said, well, I kind of tell them about, leadership and type things, but what would you say to you if you could go back in time?
Don't change nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't change a thing. Just hang on for the wild ride ahead of you.
Well, I like the wild ride. It
Yep.
is going to be a wild ride, isn't it?
It will be.
I mean-
would. But, it would be fun. I've had fun my whole life. And, there's nothing that I hadn't been able to do. So I would just tell him to hang on and enjoy the ride.
I
Yeah.
like that one. I would say that too, right? Because it's been crazy. When you get 52 and stuff like that, and you start seeing things, you get older. And for you, I mean, what I love is this wild ride has meant a lot to Wayne County. Just being here for a couple of years and getting an opportunity to know you, along with a lot of the other great leaders in the community, we're in great hands. We're in great hands.
Well, we're glad to have you at the chamber, that's for sure. Because you've brought a little spark to the table, I believe.
I really do love it. But like you, I love serving and I love Jesus.
Yeah.
And this is where he's got both of us. And so I look forward to helping you in any way we can. You know that. And with Mr. Sherwin and all your employees, we're going to have a great 2026 for sure.
We are.
So, yes, sir. So
Yeah.
I enjoy it. So with that said, let's get to know you even quicker. And our lightning round, I'm going to get some sounds gauge of make some weird noise when we start this lightning round. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, like a little buzzard. That'd be super sweet. So love to know. So love sports. I know you love golfing. Who's your favorite golfer?
I would probably have to say Payne Stewart was my favorite.
Oh, God rest his soul.
He was so classy.
Oh, I love the knickers that he wore.
Oh, yeah.
And then the hat.
Oh, yeah.
I've tried the hat, the Irish hat. I don't know what they call them. I can't pull it off.
The Kango.
Kango. Oh,
Kango.
man, I love those hats.
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
Yeah.
All right, favorite dinner. If you and Aaron were going somewhere, you need to have a great dinner. What are you going to eat?
I would probably just be a steak dinner grilled on the grill on my back porch.
Oh, right. On your beautiful new back porch.
Yes, on my back porch.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. All right. I like that one. All right. Favorite band. We'll go any band, rock band, contemporary Christian, whatever you like.
I like all kinds of music, but as far as naming a certain band,
Yeah.
I would have to say the Royal Descendants with
Royal
Southern
Descendants.
gospel
Okay.
music.
Man, I don't know.
I
if I've heard
loved
of
them for years,
Yeah.
but they're not around anymore.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to pull those up. I do
Yeah.
love some good
The
music.
great Denny Sutton, he sang a song called The Hand of the Lord.
Okay. Then he said, I'm going to have to check that one out.
Yeah.
No, thanks. I'm learning a lot today. All right. Favorite movie.
I would probably say Tin Cup.
Of course, you're a golfer. Yeah.
Because he didn't ever give up.
No, that's true.
It didn't matter how many times it took him. He was going to hit that shot over that water.
10 times, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a
For the
lot.
USO. No, I love how that responds back to your motto, essentially. Don't ever give up.
That's right.
Never give up. All right. So last one, favorite Christmas song.
Favorite Christmas song.
Yeah, I'm throwing that one out there since
Oh,
now,
wow.
it won't be till March that folks see this, but it is the Christmas season right now.
I would probably have to say Silent Night.
Oh man, that is a
It
good
just
one.
it brings you down. It gets you modest. It makes you realize, to be thankful for everything you got.
Man, I love that one. So Silent Night, Mannheim Steamroller does a Silent Night. It's my all-time favorite.
Uh-huh.
And we went a couple weeks ago to see Mannheim Steamroller in concert in Fayetteville. And it puts a little tear in my eye every time. I mean,
Right.
it's a great season, right? So I love it. So, well, Kevin, it's been a pleasure, brother. We look forward to 2026 and God bless you.
Thank you for having
You
me.
got it. See ya.
Thank you.